I'm so glad to be with you this morning because tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Thursday are Tu B'Shvat. And I'm thinking a lot about trees and I'm looking at trees. And I admit, fully, honestly, I have been hugging trees. I highly recommend it. Um, Feeling that um, you know, I started hugging trees a while ago, like years ago, and I always forget what an amazing sensation it is to wrap my arms around this living structure of a tree that is deeply rooted, that extends tall above me, putting my face against its bark and the sense that it has been alive before I came into the world. I choose big trees, I choose old trees, and that it will last beyond me. And I really want to encourage you to try that. Maybe you're a regular tree hugger and this is nothing new for you. Maybe you think this is only what total weirdos do. But to take this time to connect with trees as a deep source of living and life. And I want to share a few teachings this morning that are there to help us connect with Tu B'Shvat and connect with this incredible celebration of trees. Contemporary Rabbi Arthur Waskow, teaches the breath of life is God's name. That beautiful name of God. We breathe and the trees breathe. We breathe in what the trees breathe out. So we breathe each other into existence. We and the galaxies and the arrays of science and the codes of law and the plays of music, we are breathing each other into existence. And the breath, of course, goes in a cycle. I want to invite you to sit so you're well supported by your chair and let your spine rise tall from the sits bones. And close your eyes or let your gaze be soft. You don't need to look at the computer right now. And notice where in your body you feel the movement of breath. Awareness following the movement unfolding. Belly expanding, rib cage widening, chest lifting, throat feeling the movement of air, nostrils, and then the contraction moving through throat and chest, rib cage, belly. In the way that a dragonfly sits on a blade of grass and moves with the sway or the bob of a blade of grass. Allow your awareness to ride the breath. And as you follow, as your awareness fills the movement, the sensations of breath in your beautiful body this morning, can you bring into your awareness that everyone else on this call is also breathing? That we are breathing together. One life breath. Perhaps you can even picture it as one organism. Even if we're each breathing at different times in different rhythms, but imagining our shared breath, this collective movement of aliveness, of expanding and contracting. And can you imagine a tree that you're familiar with? Maybe it's a tree right outside your window or in your neighborhood. Picture it in your mind, its length, the texture of its bark, how it looks when you turn your head upward to see its crown. And as you exhale next, can you imagine that tree breathing in what you exhale? And as you inhale, can you imagine breathing in what the tree exhales? This interconnected, interdependent breath of life. Breathing in what trees breathe out. Breathing out what trees breathe in. All of it, the breath of life, breath of Adonai, of sacred reality, being itself, being breathed. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. The soul breath you placed within me is pure. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. 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 Ah, 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 We breathe in what the trees breathe out. We breathe out what the trees breathe in. One interconnected, interdependent web of aliveness, of sacred life breathing. Allow it to be soft. Notice its most tender places and movements. Allow it to be pleasurable and so sweet. Notice the pleasure of breath moving in your body this morning. Sweet ever unfolding. You can let the tiniest smile curl at the corners of your mouth. How does that change the sensation of breath? You could even be tickled by the thought, I'm breathing with a really great tree this morning. A pretty fabulous tree is breathing with me this morning. Rabbi Avraham Yaakov of Sadiger, a 19th century Hasidic Rebbe, teaches a person should intend on Tu B'Shvat when reciting a blessing to channel divine life energy, Shefa, to all creations and creatures, silent, growing, moving, and speaking. Those are 4 categories of alive beings in the world. She should believe with perfect faith that God, blessed be, gives life to them all, and that there is a spark of divine life energy in everything, which gives it existence, enlivens it, and causes it to grow. May it be our blessing today and into Tu B'Shvat to ride on that beautiful Shefa, that life breath that enlivens us and gives us existence and causes us to grow. And that we participate in that breathing, that growing, that channeling through us to all creation. Amen. I want to share a blessing for healing. Let's extend that life energy to those who are ill, to those experiencing suffering in body and spirit. May they be held, embraced, given resources for healing, for connection. May they be brought to wholeness, strength, and resilience. Anna Enna, Anna Enna, Anna Enna, Refana La Anna Enna, Anna Enna, Anna Enna, Refana La. Amen, amen.